It's a familiar scene playing out across the country. Schools scrambling to keep kids in the classroom safely. Unlike last year, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to the latest surge. New York City schools open through the current wave. Chicago's shut down for a week in a teacher revolt. And schools in rural areas are being forced to come up with creative solutions.
Of course, we will certainly owe them a few favors when this is all said and done.
Randy Squires, superintendent of a school district near Albany, New York. He's calling for all hands on deck, drafting retired nurses like Abby Breen to help contact trace.
Your child is able to return tomorrow.
I retired in June of 2021 after the last school year. And last week I got a phone call from the district requesting some assistance.
So you weren't surprised based on everything that you were seeing going on in your community?
Was not surprised, and I knew that my fellow nurses that I had previously worked with were certainly exhausted. This year has been so much more than last year.
All right, what else?
College students are also being called in to help teach. Among them, Superintendent Squires' own daughter, Maggie.
There are days when I move around and I'm 3 different teachers all in one day, just filling in the gaps because we're so limited on subs.
Without them, we probably would have had to go remote during this last week and possibly going forward. But right now, we feel we're in a good spot.
In fact, 25% of Squires substitute teachers are college students. Staffing is the biggest problem for schools across the country. With record numbers calling in sick, thousands of schools have been forced to close. Others going remote.
We actually had about 12% of our instructional staff calling out. That doesn't include, the bus drivers and our cafeteria workers. That's just instructional staff. And obviously that has a domino effect. That is a lot of classrooms that are unattended.
Teachers say they saw this crisis coming. Nationwide, 35% of education positions were unfilled last year.
It is a shortage across all staffing. Our paraprofessionals, our bus drivers, they are being asked to do more and more. And it's not only a troubling trend, but it is disrespectful to them as professionals. And we as a society have to address this issue. We are in a crisis, and we need to act like we are in that crisis.
Sound out those words.
Randy Squires volunteers are happy to pinch it, but know their solution is only temporary.
I go back next week for college, and I'm worried that there's not going to be enough subs, but I hope that this brings a message out to our community that these jobs are out there and they need people as soon as possible.
And in the past 10 days, Superintendent Squires says they've had more positives in his school district than in the last 4 months of 2021 combined. His advice to other districts is to be creative in their staffing challenges. And at the end of the day, it's what's best for the kids that's most important. Peter and Kristen?
Heidi, thank you so much. So many challenges. They just seem to be piling up for students and teachers these days.
Yeah, and remarkable that 25% of those substitutes in that piece were from college.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.